Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy the Game Master and welcome to my channel. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. I had a pretty good one. Got some really nice Christmas presents. I'm wearing one right now, a gift from my girlfriend. And like I said, I had a really spectacular Christmas. I did want to make a real quick video since I haven't posted a new one in a few days, just giving out an opinion that I wanted to respond to for a while. And that is the opinion of Rich of Reviewtech USA on the Atari box. But I'm not really responding to him as much as his critics, because I believe he's 100% right. Alright, a lot of people who were on the comments were immediately attacking him, because Rich came hard against the Nintendo Switch before everything was announced. When they announced just the specs, he went against them hard, saying that it was a failure. People like me who know Nintendo is always out to do something a little different, we're like, hold on, wait until you see what they're planning on doing, because Nintendo could be doing something special, and they did. And Rich has come out and said, honestly, it's one of my favorite systems, and Nintendo did a lot of things right. Now with the Atari box, which he and everybody else has attacked due to its specs, is going to be called a failure. And a lot of people are trying to say, well, you guys said the same thing about the Nintendo Switch. What's the difference? Alright, I'll tell you the difference, guys, because it's night and day between the two companies, and that matters. When Nintendo went in to announce their new console last year, announced the specs, they were a company that was getting trounced in the market. The Wii U only sold 12 million during its 5 years, which is a pathetic number. I think that's not even 10% of what the PlayStation 2 sold. So that is a pathetic number. But they were still in the console race, and while the Wii U may have sucked, the 3DS, on the other hand, sold like gangbusters. It was one of the best-selling pieces of hardware and had a lot of great software for it. So they had income both in their pocket and incoming, so they could launch the new Switch easily. The problem with the Switch that Nintendo was facing, that if it bombed like the Wii U did, Nintendo wouldn't have good name in the console business. They'd have an almost impossible hard time launching a third console after 2 in a row bombed. So this was really it, unless they wanted to switch to third party or go do something else. So that was the risk with the Switch, but it wasn't a financial risk. Nintendo has deep pockets. They could probably bomb 4 or 5 consoles in a row and still have money left in the bank. Let's take a look at Atari. Okay, the Atari that's making the Atari box is not the Atari that was around in 1978. It is not the company that Nolan Bushnell founded. It is now a French company that just happens to own that name and a lot of the licenses that Atari had. So that's important. And in the last several years, they have made a lot of really bad financial decisions and have been in bankruptcy for quite a long time. The last game I bought from them that I was really pumped and excited to play was Ghostbusters, and that was a decade ago. And I have bought 1 or 2 games from them on Steam sales for less than a dollar or two, and I reviewed one recently called Haunted House, and I'll try to place a link to it. But it wasn't a great game by any means, and it didn't sell gangbusters. And I'll tell you guys, to actually have a good console, you know, even if you're not doing a traditional console like the Xbox, you gotta have a lot of money in the bank. So I knew right away that this wasn't going to be a console to compete with the Xbox One or PlayStation 4. So what is the Atari box's gimmick? Well, basically it's a toned down PC with games already pre-installed, games that you can buy specifically for it and install again. And it's also a lot weaker than even the base Xbox One and PS4. So you're saying, well, so's the Switch. Yeah, but the Switch is something new and novel. I haven't played a Switch yet, but I know I want one because it's new and novel. What the Atari box is offering is nothing really new and novel. It's a toned down PC that can emulate a lot of games. You can emulate a lot of old games, might come pre-installed with a lot of old Atari software, which I could probably purchase for about $20 on Steam. Nothing new here. And they want the same price, if not more, than an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 for a lot less. All of these spell a recipe for a disaster. Unless you are just dying for some sort of computer that has an old wood-grained look to it, you're not going to be interested in spending that much money. I don't see who they're marketing to. Does this mean that Atari can't turn it around? Maybe, but I don't see who they're marketing to. And the fact that they were planning another Kickstarter to help raise funds for this new console and then pulled back because they weren't ready yet tells me they're still having financial problems. Like I said, just got out of bankruptcy. They don't have deep pockets. This really is a make or break situation for them. And I just see break. I just don't see this being a success. You know, you don't have a company that has a lot of name recognition or any really great software hits recently to release this. They don't have any classic games that are really hard to find. And, you know, these emulation boxes have been done to death before. And just having a PC that costs more money than the consoles and is weaker than a gaming PC, I just don't see the market for it. Like I said, we'll just have to see. Atari pulled it back because they weren't ready yet. But I don't think they ever will fully be ready, and I don't think anyone who buys this is going to come back saying they spent their money well. The few people who do, this is a boondoggle. We'll just see. If Atari comes back with some new ideas, some new plans for it that sound interesting, I might change my mind. But right now, you know, every critic of Atari is right. And as a gamer, I've seen this history repeated before in the past. It's going to fail. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, this is Tommy the Game Master concluding this rant. Thanking you for watching and hoping you guys had a Merry Christmas.